Alright guys, Bandit here doing a commentary, and I'm going to be talking about the COD XP European Finals that happened last weekend in Cologne, and also a bit about MLG if I have time at the end of the video. So yeah, I've not really been uploading anything. I just don't have the motivation to do YouTube anymore. I can't think of any interesting things that I really want to talk about. I do still like doing YouTube, but I found that I'm kind of just losing interest in gaming as a whole. But I'm not going to talk about that now. I actually do want to cover that in a separate commentary, because I think it'll be quite an interesting video on kind of how things have changed over the past 5 or 6 years and why it's different now. Anyway, this gameplay is actually against Epsilon, who are, in my opinion, one of the best EU teams at the minute. They just topped the online qualifiers for Cologne and then won the whole thing at the event, as well as qualifying for LA along the way, of course. So if anyone who doesn't know the roster, it is MLG, Jared, Lucky and Excellence. Of course, Excellence is in the new Prof lineup, who are probably the strongest EU team on paper. You know, we'll have to see how they perform at the event, because people have this thing about dream teams, so-called dream teams not working, but I really can't see that team not doing well. To be honest, I can see them definitely winning events. So the normal Epsilon lineup for EGO9, I think, is going to be Pasco replacing MLG, sorry, not MLG, Excellence. So the original lineup before Pasco couldn't attend. So I'm guessing most people will know MLG, Jared and Excellence, but I'm assuming a fair few people won't really know Lucky too well. As far as I'm aware, he used to play GB back on COD 4, and then he went to work abroad for a few years and came back last year. And a lot of people were saying he's only been picked up because he's Irish, which is obviously true to an extent, but people were kind of saying that he'd just be getting carried and that he'd be a dead weight on the team. But I know, because when I've played him before on Modern Warfare 3, and I've always thought that he was quite a good player, and he's obviously proved a lot of people wrong in Cologne and played well and proved that he can play at a high level. So I'm going to talk a bit about the event itself now. Obviously a lot of effort has gone in from teams up to this point to get to where they are, but I'm just going to talk a bit about the actual matches there and stuff. All the teams that actually wanted to qualify managed to, which was Farico Dragons, Farico All Stars and Epsilon, because I get on with quite a few people from those teams and talk to them a bit. And other than those matchups, I didn't really pay that much attention or watch too many. I caught the French one between Millennium and Supremacy. That was actually a crazy match. The players were just going mental, especially when Supremacy took the first map. Like Lowen and Agony were just screaming. And then I watched the Italian matchup as well, and I wanted Rapid to win that, and they actually managed to take it. I think it was 2-1 in the end, I'm pretty sure it was. And that was a bit of an upset, because I think everyone was expecting GSM to win, but then obviously there was the late addition of Swanee appearing from nowhere to play for that team. So yeah, for anyone who wants a full list of all the teams that qualified for LA, I'll leave a link in the description to a Deserto article that covers it, with all the teams from the European Finals, MLG Dallas, League play, because obviously 8 American teams qualified through that, as well as the other qualifiers, so from like Australia, New Zealand, Southeast Asia, Mexico, South America, South Africa and Brazil. But yeah, I know that I think it was 2 teams who placed in the top 8 at Dallas had already qualified for COD XP through league play. So that meant that I know Fear, who finished 9th, managed to qualify. So they're at COD XP. I don't know if I'm right about it being 2 teams, but I know that for certain because I've seen that in the video. But yeah, it honestly wouldn't surprise me if one of these South Korean teams comes out of nowhere and just takes COD XP no problem. If they're anywhere near what they are on League of Legends, like the amount of practice they put in is just insane. But anyway, the main game I'm guessing most of my subscribers would have been bothered about is the Farico Dragons TCM game. So at this point the stream was just just in shambles. It was okay for like the first 3 hours of the first day, and then the rest of the weekend it was just constantly going down for long periods of time during games. It was just extremely annoying. So for anyone who doesn't know, Dragons actually managed to take it 2-0, but both the maps were so close, like it couldn't have been closer. The first map was Hardpoint Raid, and I'm pretty sure there was only 10-15 points in it, which all obviously got captured right at the end. And TCM actually managed to lose that map despite outslaying pretty heavily. And then it moved on to S&D Plaza. Not really a fan of that at all, as I'm sure a lot of people aren't. Got taken out of our rule set just because of how unbalanced it is and how spawns can kind of just win you rounds. But it managed to come down to 5-5 and Flux against Luke in a 1v1, which of course Luke managed to win. But I can't imagine like the pressure of that, especially for Flux, as he like needed to win that or he'd be out. But like, I can't imagine how devastating it'd be to lose a 1v1 in that situation, or how good it'd be to win it. Obviously, like the closest thing you can compare it to is just back in the day on GB, clutching like a 1v4 at 3-3 last map, which obviously, you know, most people have done something like that. But yeah, winning that for the, like, you basically just guaranteed yourself a free trip to America, LA, to play Call of Duty and a chance to win 400 grand. That must just be amazing. The event itself actually looked incredible, like the venue and the whole setup of it. It was also, it was well scheduled, but you can't really expect it not to be. Most of the games on the first day were, I think they were all just played on one station and streamed. It would have just been shocking if it wasn't on schedule, to be honest. So as usual, the main letdown of the whole thing was the live stream. I mean, I don't know how it can be so hard for big companies like ESL and EGL to run a fucking live stream that works properly. It's really not hard. I just don't understand how they struggle so much with it. I mean, the MLG stream was flawless all weekend. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about for ESL, but I've still got quite a lot of time left on the video, so I'll talk a bit about MLG Dallas. I didn't catch too much of it, but I know there was quite a few upsets or surprises that happened. I mean, Optic had a pretty terrible event by their standards. Obviously, I think they placed 5th, which is still really good placement, but they're expecting to be minimum top 3, like, if not winning events. So they had a pretty bad LAN, especially on Hardpoint. Their Hardpoint game was just terrible. And I know Farico had a really amazing event. They managed to get to the finals without even dropping a map, and then I think the overall score in the finals was 6-2. I'm really not sure on that at all. I know Unite managed to take a map, if not 2 maps, and that was the only time Farico dropped a map the whole tournament, so they're looking really strong. And I think they're coming over to EGL, if I'm not mistaken, so obviously they're definitely going to be contending for first place, but I really do think we are, Europeans are just as good as Americans, if not better. I mean, we did, the last EGL, European team managed to take it. And this event, we do have some really strong teams going in, like especially Prof. I think Prof against the Farico NA team, that would be a really good match. But yeah, so in terms of MLG Dallas as well, Unite were really like the surprise team of the event, and Clayster just played so good. Like, he definitely deserved MVP. I know he didn't get it. I'm not sure who got it. I'm guessing it went to, I think it was Karma. I'm sure it was a Farico player because they won the event. But yeah, I think Clayster deserved it. He just played amazing. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this commentary. And I do want to do some more commentaries. Like, I do want to upload stuff, to be honest. So yeah, I'll try and get one up after I-48. Obviously, that's not going to be a very big event. Really not many teams attending, but I'll try and get a commentary up after that. And I do want to do an EGO9 kind of prediction commentary, so I'll try and get that up as well before EGL. But anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll try and get some more commentaries up soon, guys. Peace.